Welcome back to the Danger Knock podcast. Today we have a return of a special guest, Kristina Bozin.
Hey.
And today we're going to be talking about the Oscars that are coming up and the slate that they have for their Oscar ballot. We did not watch all of these movies, but lo and behold, neither did the Oscar voters. So we need to be up in that voting booth, to be honest. But I think we've seen enough to get a good idea of what's going on. As A-list Stubbs members, I feel like we have the right to do this. So here we go.
As Letterboxd users.
For sure. We're not pretentious. I mean, at least I'm not, but we'll see how it goes. But I think we could just start it off real quick with the very first on the ballot. We have the best actor in a leading role. So, Kristina, you want to name them off?
Okay, so we have Adrien Brody in The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet, A Complete Unknown.
Her fave.
Colman
Biased.
Domingo from Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes.
I thought it was Fiennes.
Fiennes from Conclave.
Sounds like a dessert.
Sebastian Stan, The Apprentice.
So let's go through what we've even seen in the first place.
Honestly, I've only seen A Complete Unknown.
And I've only seen Conclave. But
Timmy's getting that Oscar.
I hope so.
To finally get that Oscar. Big fan since Call Me by Your Name. He's such an incredible actor. He's been in so many incredible films, and I'm tired of him getting snubbed all the time. This wasn't my favorite film of his per se,
but they owe him one.
But I mean, he was great in it. The acting in A Complete Unknown is still really good. I'm just not a huge Bob Dylan fan.
Yeah.
So I didn't necessarily
feel the kind of connection to that.
I didn't have such a strong tie to the film per se, but it was still really good. The acting was phenomenal, and
yeah.
Here's to Timmy getting his first Oscar.
I feel like since Conclave is the only movie I watched, I feel like I have the exact same reaction to that, because I feel like it would have hit harder if I was Catholic. But a lot of the kind of portions of that movie that would normally hit hard to someone else, I was just like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. But for other people, it would have been. But Ralph Fiennes did do a really good job. He kind of gave off a performance that was this dude was just stressed the whole time. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try not to spoil it, but this dude was just stressed. Yeah. And you could just see in very subtle emotions on his face, that you could see it in his eyes where he's pondering something, where he's not doing that much emotion with either his physical acting, but you could just see deep down he was going through it. And it was more it was going through it in a political corporate sense. Sure. Imagine you're at work and you're getting fucked.
Yeah.
That's his life. And so that was the epitome of it, where people kind of said it was a thriller. I'm not entirely sure that fits. It's more like a drama, but I think he did really well on that.
Yeah.
Adrien Brody, I've seen him just sparingly, but I don't know
It seems like he's been leading in a lot of the other awards, the BAFTAs and the now I'm blanking
SAGs?
out. No, SAG is where Timmy won.
Oh, was he up in that running as well?
Yeah, but it seems so far Adrien Brody has been the favorite, but I don't know. I'm still holding out for Timmy. I'm also a huge fan of Colman Domingo. I'm kind of upset I didn't see Sing Sing. That is still on my list. I want to get around to it because I'm a big fan of his as well. But yeah, ultimately, I think I'm going for Timmy for this one. For sure. I have hopes.
I became a fan of Colman Domingo recently because I feel like he's had I don't know if I knew nothing about him, so I can't really say for sure if he's had a resurgence, but he's been a lot of things recently, and he had that Actors on Actors with Kieran Culkin, and I just really liked his personality in that. And he's also the voice of Norman Osborn in the Spider-Man animated show, and I'm like, this guy's fucking fire.
Yeah.
So if he wins, I wouldn't be mad. But yeah, Timothy, he has a long career ahead of him, so I don't know if he'd even want that goal to be kind of achieved so fast, and then I was like, now what? But I think he deserves it for a lot of his other roles. So I don't know if I'm a fan of like a makeup call for all my sports fans out there, but we'll see about that. And then some Oscar voters. I guess we could talk about it later when it shows up for like Best Picture and stuff. But well, we'll get to that. So we're gonna notch down our votes for each characters, and I'll do like a recap after the Oscars on Sunday and see where we stand. So I'm gonna mark off. Okay, let's see. I mean, it's hard to say because like this is where the problem is when you didn't watch this fucking when you didn't watch anything.
Well, it's like, are you gonna try and pick who you want to win or who you
think would win? The Brutalist has been getting a lot of like traction recently, right? And I kind of wanted to watch it because the college I went to, UIC, apparently was like built based off of like brutalist architecture, and I'm like, who the fuck would do this shit? And apparently it's this guy. Apparently it's Adrian Brody. He did that.
Him and like former Yugoslavia. And all of our brutalist architecture like, there.
Damn, like y'all going through it.
Yeah.
So
it's a 4-hour film.
Yeah, it's 3.5
with a 15-minute intermission. So that was a little.
It's a lot to ask.
Well, you know, and I also want to be like respectful to the art and be like, you know, like our attention spans shouldn't be so short.
Attention span, my bladder span. I would have been in the bathroom like 10 times.
Well, that's why they have the intermission, I'm assuming. But like, you know, you should be able to sit through like a 2-3 hour film and not be bothered by it. But now it seems like more and more films are like over 2 hours, like pushing 3, and I'm like, all right, what happened to a classic 90-minute? Like,
listen, I can't say anything. I watched The Batman 5 times in theaters, and it's 3.5 hours long.
Okay.
Or maybe 3. I don't know. That's like 15 hours. I'm mad it took me long to figure that out. But I'm going to put my notch down for Ralph because that's all I watched. So I feel like
that's fair.
It would be insane for me to vote for something that I didn't see over something I did see.
That's fair, and
he did a good job.
I wouldn't be mad if he won either.
Okay.
I think he's great too. I'm picking Timmy.
Yeah, and just so you guys can get an idea of what's going on here.
We got an iPad.
So I'll post this at the end of where we're at in our standings. So going on to the next actor in a supporting role. Okay, let's see how many of these that I have seen. 1. I've only seen Honora. And is that like
Yura Borislav?
Is that the main kid? Or
he's the bald
guy? Bro, I fucking love that. First of all, don't tell me nothing more. Tell me nothing more. I loved his ass in that movie.
He's great. However, some of the other actors nominated are Kieran Culkin from A Real Pain, Edward Norton, A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce, The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong, The Apprentice. Now, I've seen Honora and I've seen A Complete Unknown. I think Yura Borisov in Honora is phenomenal. Edward Norton in A Complete Unknown is also really great. But I have been seeing discourse about Kieran Culkin
going
in
off.
A Real Pain.
Is that with...
And people love him. It's him and...
Jesse Eisenberg?
And Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah. And it's basically like they're cousins or...
Yeah, I think they're like having like a family reunion or something.
Family reunion, and they visit like a concentration camp.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they were just like on vacation.
No, they're visiting like a concentration camp, and I'm
like an Auschwitz camp?
Yeah.
Damn.
Something like that. Don't quote me on it. I don't know the exact details, but I think it's just like in memory of like a lost family member or something who survived the Holocaust. So it's supposed to be something like
it's
heartfelt and funny along the way.
I'm becoming more and more open to those like movies that for my childlike brain, like, where's the bad guy? Like, no, the bad guy is just life.
Yeah.
And so I'm becoming more open to kind of embracing those kind of like genres of movies, but for some reason it's still like those like coming of age movies just kind of piss me off sometimes. I'm like, nothing's fucking happening.
Everything's happening. They're living life. They're experiencing.
I'm doing that every day.
Exactly. But I think it's like,
I was gonna be like, where are my cameras at? But then here,
you know.
But so what would you cast?
I think I'm gonna, even though I haven't seen it, I think I'm gonna stick with the popular vote and go with Kieran Culkin for this.
Okay, you're playing. You're doing gambling. You're like, what I think will win.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this could be like our favorites list. Our freaking local library. Actually, I shouldn't even show where it is. Covering our local library has like their own ballot that we can win something, and I'm very competitive. So this will not be my favorites. This is like my sports betting right here. This is
Yeah, but it only has 6 categories of like the several that are nominated.
Yeah, so we gotta. I guess 6 for 6 can't be that hard.
Yeah, I mean, you got a good shot at guessing
for movies that we
those.
haven't seen, but okay. Also, it doesn't even matter if you've seen these movies, to be honest, because even if you saw a movie and you thought it was like much better, who knows how the Academy's gonna vote? They haven't even seen this shit, just like we haven't.
Yeah, some of the Academy members haven't even watched all the movies, which is insane. Because
here's where I pop up a screenshot of an article that says that they don't watch shit.
Because how do you get to vote for a film or multiple films in a category like when you haven't seen them?
Not only that, they don't want to. They were like saying that,
Dune is too long.
They're like, no, I saw Dune 1. It was hard to get through, so I don't want to do 3 more hours of watching. Bro.
That's crazy.
Get the fuck out of here. How do you even get this job? And then they're like, brutalist. It's 3.5 hours. I don't know about that. Listen, if you're a casual person, that's fine. But if you're voting...
That's literally your job, is just to
and these
watch
people,
these
like,
movies.
this is like... It's like a disrespect to the artists. Like, they've spent their whole lives working to these moments to be Oscar nominated.
Right.
And you're going to be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm going to scroll TikTok. Man, someone needs to get us in those rooms.
Anyway.
But next we have actress in a leading role. So let's go through what we've even seen here. So we have Cynthia Erivo in Wicked, Carla Sofia, what is it? How do you say that? Gascon?
I think so.
And Amelia Perez, which, listen, we'll talk about it. Mikey Madison and Nora, Demi Moore in The Substance, and Fernanda Torres in I'm Still Here. So I've seen Wicked, I've seen Anora, and I've seen The Substance. So this is good. I'm 3 for 5.
Okay, yeah. Those are the same for me. So
I've heard Amelia Perez was just really bad, and for some reason it's getting a lot of Oscar nominations. I told myself that I should, if something is that polarizing, I still need to watch it just to like, I can't just like bandwagon talk shit, but I've seen clips and I've seen enough.
Yeah.
It's just not fucking good.
I haven't seen Amelia Perez. I know it's on Netflix. I've seen snippets of it. It's like a musical, apparently. But,
listen, if you're gonna be a musical, you better come correct. You can't be doing bullshit.
But I also, like, I'm reading some of the like discourse behind it is that it's a French director.
See, that's your problem.
That did basically no research into the background of like the culture
of like Mexican people.
Of
Bro,
Mexico.
French people be pissing me off. Timothy Chalamet is the only one by proxy who's allowed to exist.
So it's a little concerning because it's like, I don't know, it could come across offensive to like plenty of people.
Bro, I heard it's a movie about Mexican people, and I don't know about trans people, but at least one trans person, and both those communities didn't like it. So
I don't know. It's winning a lot, and that's why I'm like confused.
And its ratings are low.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this movie.
Industry plant.
Maybe.
So I'm not even considering that. Mikey Madison in Anora, I feel like
she's got a good chance.
She's got a good chance. Like, she did very well, and Demi Moore did very well. But so now here's where it diverges from like what we think is gonna win and what we'd want to win. I think Cynthia Erivo did an amazing job in Wicked. But like now I have to like make that like distinction between like a character, like she's playing a witch. Whereas like Mikey Madison's playing like a girl from like I don't know, it was like Brooklyn or the Bronx or
Yeah,
something.
something like that.
So it's like, it's an interesting thing to consider when you're like acting, right? Like, which is why I think a lot of like superhero movies don't get nods for acting. Like Robert Downey Jr. was a fantastic actor in Iron Man, but they're gonna be like, oh, he's Iron Man, so it's not like as serious. So I'm afraid the similar thing might happen to Cynthia Erivo, where you're playing like a witch, that they're not gonna take your acting seriously. Whereas she did an amazing job, like
Right.
expressing pain, expressing like anger, expressing like like from going from anger to happiness, and then back to like being free. Like she covered all those bases.
No, I think Cynthia Erivo was incredible in Wicked. I think she was cast like perfectly for Elphaba. And I want to say like I don't think she's going to get it because the Academy isn't going to vote for musicals, but then I guess Amelia Perez has been getting a lot of awards, so now I'm like, well, I don't know, but compared to the other women in this category, I don't feel like she is the strongest contender. I think she's still great, but I wouldn't say she's the strongest contender in this category. I haven't seen I'm Still Here, so I can't speak too much on Fernanda Torres, but really like Mikey Madison and Demi Moore are like my two strongest, or I believe are the two strongest contenders for leading actress. And I loved The Substance, so I am secretly like really rooting for Demi Moore to win, but I do believe like Mikey Madison might take it. I think Honora has been getting a lot of love across the board, and it's like it got like the highest honor at the like Cannes Film Festival and all of that. And I think I read about how like Mikey Madison really like went to like New York or Jersey or wherever they were and like really like immersed herself in that lifestyle. Like she went to talk to like dancers and like just kind of spend the day with them and see like what their lives are like, and really like kind of method acting in a way to really like become this character, and she like did a great job. So I have a feeling that like it might go to Mikey Madison.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Now that you mentioned that, like how much weight do we put on someone in terms of acting skill? Not only how the character is portrayed in the film, but how much more they had to kind of adjust who they are naturally to become that. Like if let's say you're a person from England, for example, and you have a British accent already, and you put on a great performance, right? But a person from like New York who also does that same character, but with the British accent to the same degree, do they get more credit because they're able to learn a accent? I feel like that gives you more acting skills. Like you have to achieve a higher range of where you're trying to portray emotions while also in an accent that you don't normally have. So I think that actually changes my vote. I was originally gonna do Demi Moore, but I'll say I also agree with like Mikey Madison as well. To transform yourself to that degree and then hit those high and lows of emotions is probably very difficult.
But I'd say like again, Demi Moore also did. She was so great in.
She turned into something.
She turned into something. And she's been in the industry for so long, so I don't know if this is also like one of her final like.
This is. Yeah, that's true. Like, has she won an Oscar before?
No, I don't think she's won.
You gotta give her it, man. Mikey Madison gonna be here for a minute. Like,
well, that's kind of like.
Yeah, that's kind of bogus. You can't do that either.
We were bringing up previously for like actors, like you have some of these like well-established actors who have been in the industry, who are also now like competing with like up-and-coming young, strong talent as well. And so that's where like you kind of are like, well, do you finally give them their flowers like after all this time, or is it like,
did you actually deserve it?
I don't know. Yeah.
I feel like it has to be on a deserving basis because, for example, another insert article here where the voters, they assumed or thought that like Ralph Fiennes had already won an Oscar when he didn't really.
He didn't.
And they're like, we can't give it to him. We'll give him to Adrian Brody. And Adrian Brody actually has won an Oscar.
Yeah.
So if you're going by that logic, it's like you're desecrating the craft of like what they're doing, because now it's just a popularity contest.
Yeah.
Or if someone had already won too many times and they give a performance of a lifetime, you're like, well, oh, they already won. We can't give it to them again. And that takes away from like people like building that resume of whatever. Like even people say that what's his face? Leonardo DiCaprio didn't necessarily need to have won it for Revenant, but he should have got it for all of his other roles.
Right.
And so it's like weird. Just like
Yeah.
do it on time. But okay, so what's our final call for this?
Honestly,
It's about what you want and what you
it's
think.
like
is
what
two
I
different-
want versus what I think will win, and I think Mikey Madison is gonna take it. So I'm gonna go with her.
I think I will join you on that and also go Mikey Madison.
Cool.
Okay, and then we'll breeze through some of these other ones. Actress in a supporting role. First of all, here's the thing. Is as you like look through all of these like ballot like options, you're just seeing like the same 5 movies again and again, which I kind of don't like. Like obviously, probably if you have the best picture, you're gonna have the best actors in it. But like it gets kind of repetitive, and you kind of want like more films sprinkled in through there.
Sure.
And they'll like throw in one random one that
Yeah.
you know is not gonna win, just so they can have some like diversity. But like I feel like you're doing a lot, especially with like Amelia Perez being in every single fucking column. I don't think that should be the case. But anyways, so actress in a supporting role, we got Monica Barbaro in A Complete Unknown. Is she like the Bob Dylan's love interest?
One of them.
Oh shit, this guy a fucking player.
Yeah.
But okay, and then Ariana Grande is your girl. You know it's your girl. All right.
I know it ain't the stallion. You know it's your girl.
Felicity Jones in The Brutalist. Isabella Rossellini in Conclave. Oh, she must be the nun.
Yeah.
There's only one lady who was talking in the whole movie. So
Yeah.
it had to be her. She didn't have a lot of lines, but she came through and she like shut shit down. And then Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. So all right, you go. What do you think?
Everything I've been keeping up with, it was like Zoe Saldana swept pretty much all of them for supporting
the
actress.
awards.
And it kind of hurts my heart because I think Ariana Grande, for her first like big role, like did so well. And I think, and honestly, not even just like because I'm like a super fan of hers. I really do love her.
That aside.
But she put like her whole like soul into this. I think she was like such a big fan of Wicked. She loved it. She started like her career basically on Broadway and like got into acting that way.
So to have not only that, like this is one of her dream roles.
Yeah, and this is literally was like one of her dream roles. Like you can see old interviews of her where she talks about wanting to play Glinda in Wicked, and for her to finally like see this through probably meant so much to her. And I mean, it obviously did because we all saw the interviews with her and Cynthia holding space for one another.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And just like always just being in tears of happiness and like joy of how much they enjoy this project and working together and seeing everybody else's response to it. I think it was so like magical for them, and it was just something like really special. And I really feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, like whatever, like it's Ariana Grande, like she's not even really part of this industry, but like I truly do believe she's deserving
First of all,
of Best Supporting Actress for this role.
Yeah.
Like she really put everything into
people are
it.
gonna like try to discount her, being like, this is your first role, and like other people have been acting for a long, but like she's been acting for a long time, has the vocals for this role, has the acting capability, so like why not? Like I'm just because you're a rookie doesn't mean you shouldn't get your like flowers as well. And for like the interview stuff where people are like, oh, they're doing the most, I was one of those people until I sat down and I thought, I was like, damn, what if they're like, yo, you want to be Batman? I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna cry in every
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah.
Like this the same equivalent of that for them.
It's
So
a dream come true.
So yeah,
for her,
I
you know?
completely once I put that perspective on it, I was like, okay, all right, y'all can do you. But now let's get to the voting. I'm gonna say, for the stuff I've seen, I've only seen Wicked and Conclave on this list, and I feel like if this is in fact the nun in the movie, I feel like her role wasn't as large of a role as Ariana's. Like, it says supporting role, but Ariana's basically a co-star.
Yeah.
Like, it say supporting almost doesn't do it enough justice. I know Wicked is about the Wicked Witch, so obviously Cynthia Erivo should have that number one billing on that. But number one B is Ariana, and to have that much weight and still like it's your first time, which I shouldn't rate that into the rating. It should be like how good you did, but she did amazing. So I'm gonna give that to her, and I think she's gonna get that, and that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm nervous for her. I like really, really want it to be her. Based on all the other like award shows and how they've been voting, it seems like Zoe Saldana's gonna be taking it.
That's gonna piss me off.
And I know like she's another one of those like older established actresses who people are like, well, now she's finally like getting her flowers after all this time.
Flowers. She's been in every single billion-dollar franchise. She's been in Marvel, Avengers. She's been in the Avatar movies. Like each one of them are like the highest grossing of all time.
So
bro.
I don't know, but I'm still going for Ariana. Like she's my girl. I love her.
Understandable. All right, let's see what we got here. Animated feature films, for which I have seen none.
I've seen 2.
Inside Out 2.
So the options are Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul.
I'm voting for that.
And Wild Robot. I've seen Inside Out 2. I really want to see Flow because it has like a cat and a capybara in it.
Oh shit!
And they're super cute.
Glenn Powell.
The animation style of it is adorable. So I'm still hoping I can catch that before Sunday. But I think it's gonna go to the Wild Robot. I thought that was such a like.
I heard it's heartfelt.
Very heartfelt, very beautiful film. The music in it was incredible. It made me cry.
This is just AI propaganda, all right? They're just getting you used to feeling bad for robots.
It's so good. Well,
yeah, exactly. Give me a
but
real animal.
It was so cute. I loved it.
Yeah, I need to watch that movie. But let's see what we're gonna.
Short film. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen any of them.
I'm just gonna pick something randomly so we don't have to.
Should we just skip this category?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do Yuck because I like that name.
Okay.
And then cinematography. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now we're talking about my shit right here. All right, it's Dune Part 2. Everyone else should just fuck off.
So the nominees for cinematography are The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu.
I'll say this though, Nosferatu had banger shots.
Nosferatu.
You know what? Hold on.
Robert
I can't be so
Eggers,
confident.
Had,
yeah.
Like the dark gothic style. Like it was great.
Bro, he had the sauce. Every shot had sauce.
The cinematography in Nosferatu was incredible. I love Dune Part 2. I wish it was getting more love.
It's
this
really
award season. It seems like everybody forgot that this movie came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was one of the best movies of this entire year.
So now, like when we think about these people watching or like doing these like Oscar or award season voting, it puts into perspective like their biases towards like
recency bias.
Not only recency bias, but if you think about it, they hate science fiction. They hate like. Not to say like this Dune's like a superhero thing, but it's like it's the same reason why even Wicked may not get the love that it deserves because it's fantastical. Like they love this just like
horror doesn't get a lot of love
Yeah, they
either.
love just like slow burn, like they call it Oscar bait movies. Even it's even so prevalent that it's like there's a term for it.
Yeah.
Like Conclave was it was a good movie. 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, yo, you're tweaking.
Well, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, what-
Maybe I'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, right? But when I was watching it, I did not feel a sense of like dread or like there was tension, but it's like, maybe once again, I think it's because like I'm not Catholic and I know like the election of a pope is such a big deal.
Yeah.
That kind of reverberates through the rest of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But in my head, I'm like, this guy's just like in a corporate setting, just getting
He's just some
cracked.
guy.
He's just like, I felt bad for him, but he did an amazing job. But yeah, but back to cinematography. I'm thinking of I'm trying to like put my mind back to the shots. I saw Dune Part 2 in theaters like 4 times.
Yeah.
So I saw Nosferatu once, and I still have lasting impressions of some of the shots in Nosferatu. Like the carriage scene was very well done. The hand over the city was very well done.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But then you just think Dune, and you think about Fade Rotha in like the Harkonnen planet, and he's walking with
and the lighting and the black and white, and then
bro
the crowd of people okay.
and he's just like this.
I
bro.
think
Yes,
that just sold me. I think recalling those
the
scenes,
aura?
Dune is
the
my
aura
pick too.
was off the fucking charts.
That was
And
yeah.
then the worm
Yeah.
catching like stray aura off of Timmy, bro.
I think Nosferatu is great too.
Unfortunately, he has to go up against Dune Part 2.
Yeah, these scenes in Dune, like the way you felt,
I was
the way
scared.
they made you feel like fully immersed in that, like it was great.
Like him riding the worm.
Yeah, Nosferatu also had moments like that.
Pause.
The cinematography for Nosferatu is great too. But I think Dune was just more built. Like
The scale of Dune was larger, and I'll say this is that Nosferatu is more consistent in its cinematography because it has a theme.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at Dune Part 2, like from the environments that they're going into and the different changes of like scenes and scenery and types of scenes that they're in, from up close like dramatic shots to like vast scalable shots, and making you feel like, and this is like you have to watch in IMAX.
Yeah.
Because like I've been seeing like the pictures of like the screenshots of like
the standard,
what it looks like without IMAX, and you're losing a lot.
You're losing a lot. Yeah. So
to the point where if this wasn't in IMAX, Nosferatu might take that if they only showed what was in those kind of frames.
You're right. Yep.
But that's a close one. If Nosferatu got it, I'd be mad, but not that mad.
I would be okay with Nosferatu getting it too, but yeah, I think Dune was definitely for sure.
Oh shit, we got a whole lot more.
Well, we can also just
We could like skip some.
go through like the bigger.
Yeah, so we'll get to costume design. We could do like a speed round. We just go through.
Costume design.
We're at 30 minutes.
Nominees are Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. I'm gonna give it to Wicked.
I knew you were gonna say Wicked, and I can't disagree. Conclave, it was really nice, but like people be wearing that, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't get credit for like.
I mean, yeah, but you could say that about anything, because
people don't be wearing what they're wearing in Wicked. That's some
no, but that's
Nosferatu. No, like
Nosferatu was also good with like costume design. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But I think Wicked was like more.
Yeah, I want to give it to
fun.
Wicked because you have to be more creative to develop those outfits. Whereas Gladiator 2 and Nosferatu and Conclave and Complete Unknown are all... Obviously, Nosferatu is not based in reality, but it's based off of real time.
Mm-hmm.
So you have something to go off of. But when you have like a kind of a almost blank slate with Wicked, and I've never seen the stage show, so I don't know how much of it is like taken from that, but you have a lot more kind of like creative freedom to work with that. So I will choose Wicked as well. And then, okay, where we have directing. That's big. So directing is different than editing. So it's like, I kind of find it hard to like figure out what is even directing. it's like coach of the year. Like,
Yeah.
because then, okay, cinematography is cinematography, editing is editing. What part of that is the directing part? I don't know if you're more versed in that, but I'm not completely sure.
Not
All right.
really.
Anyway, so we'll just
Not
pick
that
some bullshit
much.
then. Because like Christopher Nolan, like he gets credit for like coming, like because he I know he's a writer in some capacity, but he probably has like writer assistants, and he's a vibe guy.
Yeah.
So I guess this is like what's the best vibe for a movie? Which, first of all, how you're not gonna have Doom Part 2 on here is crazy. And Amelia Perez,
Yeah,
stupid ass. I'm fucking
let
pissed.
me-
Every time I see her, they fucking pissing me off.
Where is Denis Villeneuve?
I don't even know how to say his name. That's why I just say it. Doom Part 2. Denis Villeneuve. I thought it was like Villanueva, I'm saying
Villanova.
Villanova.
Something like that.
College. Substance was crazy. That had sauce.
I'm gonna vote for Coralie Fargate for The Substance.
Okay.
Also because she's the only woman director here too.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the Oscars don't really recognize many of them. And The Substance was just a sick ass movie. So I'm gonna give it to her.
Yeah, it's very unique. I think I'm not gonna give it to The Substance because the theme kind of like it was probably on purpose, but like towards the third act just got fucking out of control, and I felt like I was watching.
But that's what made it so fun.
That's true.
It just was like going crazy.
Yeah. I'm debating between that and Anora because I just really enjoyed like Anora in the sense of like I felt like I was it felt like it was a documentary. Like I was following these people around and it felt realistic. And I felt like the acting of everybody on that was on point and so fluid and natural that I feel like in some part of that, like the director had to allow them to be in that proper space. They weren't like acting, they were just being.
Mhm.
Especially those conversations with like the Armenians.
Mhm.
Like that shit was fucking I was dying.
That
And it
was
was so
funny.
natural. Like the one thing about the movie that I took away from was that how natural it was. And so I think I'll give that to the director.
Sean Baker.
So what do we got? Documentary, feature film, bro.
We can
Ain't nobody fucking watch documentaries.
Sadly.
Yeah, we're skipping. Film
Let's-
editing.
We could skip
Yeah,
that
we'll skip
too.
that one.
Let's go to music original score.
So Dune Part 2 was disqualified from being a part of this because they used score from their first movie,
Yeah,
even though it was crazy.
It recycled too much of the music from the original first movie for it not to count as
That's crazy
original.
because they had new shit. But I guess kind of like you don't want to like tread that same thing
Yeah.
again. Did they win last time though?
I believe so.
All right, if you got it, then you got it.
Or I don't remember if they won or if
Mhm.
Oppenheimer won. I can't remember now. But so we have The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Again, only seen Wicked and The Wild Robot.
Conclave had like, I think the music was the one thing, not the one thing, but it added to like the stress of certain scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like it was very repetitive, and they
Okay.
used like similar instrumentals for multiple scenarios,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like it was almost like they were just spamming it. So I don't know how much I like that part. So, and then that just leaves Wicked for me because that's all I've seen.
Also, I'm wondering how Wicked
Get
is
original score.
original score. I mean, I guess because it's technically a
music.
musical and not like
Yeah. But then to be like, yo, you can't give it to Dune Part 2, but you could give it to Wicked, which is based off of a musical.
Yeah, I don't know. And I love the music from Wicked. But I kind of want to go with the Wild Robot on this one.
You know what I was going to say? I was going to say I'm happy to see the Wild Robot even be on here. That animation gets its like credit amongst like other major films.
I really like one of the things that stuck with me about that film was the music score.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to go with that. The Wild Robot for me. Even though I love Wicked, and I still got chills from like all the singing, but I feel like the Wild Robot really had a great score, and it like helped move like
Mm-hmm.
it helped the story flow.
Yeah.
It helped like engage, like kind of immerse you into like what was happening and how the characters were feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I need to watch Wild Robot before
that's my pick.
the Oscars come through, but I picked it as well.
Ooh,
Um,
production design.
production design like Dune or Wicked, they built that shit.
Yeah,
Bro, fuck,
I
you
think-
can't.
So production design, you have The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. And I'm immediately also going to pick Wicked because they planted like 7 million tulips
Yeah, get the
for
fuck
like
out of here.
this
That's
one scene to
crazy.
be filmed. Like it was a full on like built set.
If they don't win that shit, that's crazy. Like everything was built.
Yeah,
Very minimal
everything,
CGI.
The train,
The Emerald train.
like all of it. And
Yeah.
I love Nosferatu. I love the vibes of like that dark gothic horror stuff. Dune also incredible. Again, they filmed it like in Jordan or like in the deserts out there. But like building a full-on practical set that was used is like incredible work. So
Yeah,
I'm giving it to Wicked.
we gotta skip that. I don't know. Sound is actually interesting.
I don't know what the
'Cause
difference is.
You know what? Conclave should have been in sound because it's very weird, but like they will get up and close to like Ralph Fiennes and you just hear him breathing out of his nose. And that shit kind of got me. I was like, yo, like so much could be said on how you're breathing.
Yeah.
And you could just tell the dude, if you just took a still shot of him, you'd be like, oh, he's just like chilling there. But you could just hear his nose breathing, and you're like, this guy's
He's
fucking going
stressed.
through it.
Yeah.
He's going through it. And so there was a lot of that, which I liked. Oh, no, we're still in sound. Dune Part 2, like, I'm just gonna give it a good because like all those like not alien, but those space,
The
the worms, the like spaceships taking off, like even down to the silence of a fight, of like them fighting with each other and like negating all other sound. That is impressive in and of itself. So they just need to win some shit. I'm sick of these other people winning awards.
Yeah, I think sound. Okay, a Complete Unknown is also nominated, which, I mean, I don't know. It's a Bob Dylan biopic, however you say that. So I mean, it was a lot of him like going around playing his music.
So like,
not really sure like how
that falls into this category.
Played into all of it.
Yeah.
Wicked, The Wild Robot again. I think they both had good music, but yeah, I will also go with Dune in terms of sound design and how like the sci-fi like aspects of it, having the ships flying, having the fights with the worms and all of that, and like the ground rumbling and all of that.
Yeah, I think you deserve some credit for like making realistic sounds for things that don't exist.
Yeah, for sure.
For like things that already exist is kind of, I think, an easier step into that direction. So I just think that's very impressive. For visual effects, that's a big one.
Yeah.
All right,
So visual effects, it's Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. And I feel like you've seen more of these films than I have.
I've seen Alien Romulus. I've seen Dune Part 2. I've seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I've seen Wicked. Only one I haven't seen, which I'm not going to see, is Better Man.
So you've seen a lot.
That's like that's the, what's it called? The Monkey Rockstar movie?
Is that
the British Monkey Rockstar?
Okay, yeah.
I'm not watching that.
I heard it was good though, but
maybe I'll watch it one day.
I don't know.
Yeah, listen, I'm a big fan of the monkeys and just shit happening. Like, I'm a big fan of just like, first of all, I'm wearing my Godzilla -1 shirt, so I'm a big fan of just like creatures in general, and a big fan of the Planet of the Apes series. However, I think this installment of the Planet of the Apes it's like a new trilogy beginning, so it's a different feel. Had this have been one of the original like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I would have gave it more kind of competition with Doom Part 2 because that shit was insane. That was like real like monkeys running around.
Mhm.
Whereas for some reason Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes felt a little bit less realistic, even though they had a lot of cool stuff going on. But I still kind of debate between Dune Part 2 and that. But is from this list all you've seen is Wicked?
And Dune.
Oh yeah, Dune, yeah.
You don't think Alien Romulus is a contender? Because
They do have a lot of practical effects, so that gives them credit. They had a lot of practical effects. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I heard that
It was very.
it was pretty good.
The issue is that you're competing with these heavy hitters. Like if it was like to say like what movies had good visual effects, Alien Romulus definitely would be there. But then you're competing with like the Michael Jordan of visual effects, like right next to you.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
I would say it's between like Dune and Alien Romulus.
yeah.
Even though I haven't seen Alien Romulus,
But you've seen like clips and
but
stuff.
I've seen clips of it, and I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's possible.
I'm gonna have to do Doom Part 2 just because how crazy it is. But if Alien Romulus wins, I'll be happy as well because that team deserves it. It had a lot of sauce. That movie had sauce.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Dune also, just
Yeah.
because
Keep your cred up.
I thought Dune was one of the best movies of last year.
Last year, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
You know, Dune Part 2, like, just, it came out very early on, and I think that's why it's not getting as much love right now. I think people are forgetting about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I truly, like, it was one of the best films that came out last year. I will, like, die on that hill.
In my Letterboxd top 4 of all time, there's Dune Part 2.
Exactly.
We'll do that at the end. We'll do our Letterboxd top 4. Writing, adapted screen. I don't know, man.
We'll skip the writing portion of it.
We could close it out.
We'll close it out with what
Best
we
Picture.
think Best Picture will be.
Mm-hmm.
The nominees are Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked.
I'll say this. I'm happy The Substance got nominated for Best Picture. I was thinking that it would be too niche and like weird for like the Academy, that they wouldn't give it its like, credit. But I'm happy that it's there. However, and out of this, I've seen like 5. I've seen Anora.
I've seen 5, yeah.
I've seen Anora. I've seen Conclave, Dune Part 2, The Substance, and Wicked. So maybe the other movies have like the sauce that I don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
But Dune Part 2 is like probably one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Like if I were to think like, oh, what's better than Dune Part 2? Like you're gonna be hard pressed. You're gonna say something like,
yeah.
And listen, I'm a casual, right? More so even than a normal person. Like I haven't even seen Godfather. I haven't seen a lot of those movies. So, but Dune Part 2, story wise, visual wise, acting wise, like sound effects wise, anything you can think about for a movie was top tier.
Yeah.
And I gotta glaze them. I gotta vote for that.
Okay. I'm really happy that The Substance made it too. I thought, aside from Dune Part 2, The Substance was also one of my like top rated films from last year. And again, I'm kind of bummed I haven't seen some of these. I've been wanting to watch The Nickel Boys and I'm Still Here. And I haven't seen Conclave, but I heard that one was also really good. I don't know. I am debating.
I'll tell you this: Conclave is not better than Dune Part 2. I'll tell you that much.
I know,
it's got,
but I don't think because of how much Dune has been getting snubbed, I don't think it's gonna.
You gotta go with your heart. I don't care because I'm not getting money off of this, so I can't even go off of like what I think is gonna win, because I wouldn't, even if what I thought was gonna win wins, I'm not gonna be happy.
I feel like what I think is going to win, I think it's going to be between Honora and The Brutalist.
If Amelia Perez, I'm gonna kill myself.
I don't think it's going to be Amelia Perez. I think it's somehow it's going to fall between Honora and The Brutalist. I wish The Substance was a stronger contender, because I would also say like between The Substance and Dune, I'd be happy with either. I don't know. I'm gonna go with, again, the Populace. I'm gonna go with like what I've been seeing has
Trending.
has been winning the hearts of the Academy, and I'm gonna go with Honora for Best Picture.
I wouldn't be mad at it if they won. All right, that's our complete or semi-complete of the things that we didn't skip list. I'll put like a thing on the whatever, but I'm excited. Maybe we'll do a part 2 of like our reactions, and by then probably we've seen some other stuff. But yeah, to close it off, do you want to kind of talk about just other movies that have not been on here in the last year that are some highlights for you? Because I have, so I have to go through my Stubbs, what's it called, history.
I have some from my Letterboxd movies that I saw last year that I thought were good.
Yeah, I'll do 2024 because I've seen some good movies this year. Like Companion. This year. That should be in the award season in some capacity next year. I love
Companion.
But they'll probably forget about it. I got a couple good ones.
One of my favorites that came out last year that really didn't get a lot of love was Lisa Frankenstein. It was just a fun, campy, girly movie. And
girly pop.
Yeah, it was super fun. And it has Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse in it. I don't know. I was a fan of it. I loved
That's Zach or Cody.
Cole Sprouse was Cody.
Oh, okay.
It was just fun. I loved the aesthetic. I loved the vibes of it. It was super like lighthearted and silly, and
that's fun. Maybe I'll check it out.
I wish that got more like attention.
Yeah. I got one where Heretic.
Oh, the Heretic.
I like that a lot.
I'm surprised
that got me stressed. Like Conclave is like a children's movie compared to Heretic in terms of stress.
You know what movie I'm surprised didn't get nominated?
Oh, okay. What were you gonna
Monkey Man.
Oh, bro, that was on my list. Bro, I fucking love Monkey Man. That shit was you know what? That should have been on here.
Like, cinematography wise for Monkey Man, I thought that was
Amelia Perez in here when Monkey Man should have been in there. Or like, let me see what else I have on here. Smile 2 didn't get any noms, so I guess it was.
I wasn't a fan of Smile
2. Strange Darling.
Furiosa. Challengers
didn't even show up on this bitch.
They love Challengers.
That's crazy.
Challengers not being nominated for original score is
that's crazy.
That was Luca Guadagnino. Why do they hate Luca Guadagnino?
Because I can't say his name. Let's see what else last year.
Furiosa
was crazy. Civil War.
I didn't care for that.
I thought it was like
hot take.
I thought it was very stressful, like to be, bro. Godzilla vs King Kong, come on. Or it was times. My bad. They're teamed up. Madam Web.
Strange Darling was another one that I thought was really.
That was a crazy movie. I think Strange Darling is like a fun Netflix movie.
No, I feel like that could have been a contender. I thought that one.
I'm just happy that the woman for once was the bad guy. Anyone But You came out in the beginning of the year. They should have like a rom-com category. Zone of Interest. That should have got something.
No, that was for last year.
But it was January 25th, 2024.
Maybe that's when
maybe it came out early. Yeah, it probably came out before.
It was in the last Oscar season.
There's some other movies in here that were probably like, Fall Guy. Like these are just like regular, Long Legs.
Long Legs came out.
I feel like it didn't have good enough legs to carry. That shit pissed me off. The movie was so good until the end.
Yeah.
Twisters, man, I fucking love Twisters.
Fun. But I think
Deadpool and Wolverine. That wasn't even. Cuckoo. Interestingly, that could have had some legs on it. Beetlejuice probably wouldn't. That Joker movie, look back at my old podcast. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, I think those are Gladiator 2. I thought would have got more noms, but I feel like it didn't hit like people thought it was gonna hit.
No, that was kind of like a flop.
It almost didn't
sadly.
feel like Gladiator. Like
was
the
kind of-
original Gladiator had
Yeah.
like aura.
Mhm.
I
The
can't
second
my
one,
Gen Z terms.
I was excited because I was like, oh, it's Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal,
Hmm.
Denzel Washington. You got some big names in there, but it just kind of fell flat,
Yeah.
which was disappointing. But
Yeah. Sometimes when there's too many people, it's hard to like focus on a particular character and let them get their story fleshed out. And in this case, everyone just had their own bullshit going on, and you're
Mhm.
like, how is this related? Until the very end, and then by that point, you didn't care.
right.
But yeah, I think similarly, not like Conclave had some like great actors in it, but like one of the complaints I had with that movie, although it was a great movie, was like it's a weird. I was thinking about this. I'm like, things just be happening.
Well, yeah, things do be happening.
But in the movie, it's like, hey, this guy should be doing this thing. By the way, something happened that you didn't know about. And I'm like, it's less about what the people are doing in that time period themselves. It's more about like, okay, we're gonna show you this guy, and then later on we're gonna reveal something.
Okay, well, don't spoil
Yeah, I'm not
it
gonna
because
spoil
I
it.
still need to
Yeah,
watch
you need to
it.
watch it. But
I'm gonna try and get my last like movies in before Sunday.
yeah, for sure. And then
Um,
I'll try to post this before Sunday so you guys have a chance to join us in our voting whatever thing we got going on. But yeah, do you have any other final thoughts on this last year of cinema films?
a lot of good stuff came out. A lot of good movies.
Original movies, I'd say too.
A lot of original movies.
When people are saying like they're not making original movies anymore, I disagree. You're just not a real
Yeah,
movie. You're not a real movie watcher like us.
You're not a real film bro.
You're not a real watcher.
But well, now with AMC, you can soon see 4 movies a week instead of
I know they bumped it up by $2. Fucking pissed me off. but-
$2 before 4 extra movies a month.
I've only seen 2 movies in the last 2 months, so I don't know. I need to pick,
Yeah,
pick
we
up the slack.
gotta.
It's 2 degrees outside. What am I supposed to do?
Yes, I know. I've been slacking too. I'm gonna try and like catch up with stuff on my watch list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see the Oscars. I am crossing my fingers for Timmy and Ariana.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm rooting for them. I'm hoping
They get.
they get their flowers because they've been really incredible.
So I'm sick of these old fucking people. It's time for the fucking.
No, I love these old people
All right,
too.
true. Yeah, you're right.
But
Yeah, I like them. But as long as Amelia Perez doesn't win anything, I'll be happy.
it might. And unfortunately, I'm scared that Wicked will just get snubbed completely. But
Yeah, and the worst part is that like you can't get it next year. It's done. You never
Yeah.
get that opportunity again.
you
to
get
like,
one chance.
So, but yeah. Well, I think that's it for this pod. As always, God, I hate doing the spiel. Like and subscribe if you're watching this. You should also follow my other personal channel, the AcroNM channel, where I do other stuff like gaming, and I'm gonna be doing like unboxing videos. I'll probably get another Marvel Rival video coming up soon. But yeah, follow Instagram at DangerKnock and follow my personal at AcroNM, blah blah blah. If you know me, you probably already know that. And then Kristina, let them know where they can find you.
This is not Hot Ones.
or don't find me. I don't know.
Don't find me.
That's fine. But yeah, until next time, thank you for watching. Peace.